Welcome to our video series on cybersecurity careers. We live in a digital era where everything from personal information to national security is vulnerable to cyber attacks. Computer and network professionals defend our systems by working in information technology jobs related to cybersecurity. In this 5-part video series, workers from a wide range of cybersecurity fields will share with you their work, their career paths, and the study and certifications that are needed in their professions. We hope that their stories will inspire you to learn more about this rapidly growing, high-demand field, which offers excellent pay and high job satisfaction.
My name is Troy Wojowoda, Computer Systems Security Analyst. My core role is the lead member of the Newport News Cyber Incident Response Team in regards to combating, detecting cyber threats as they exist on our corporate network for Newport News Shipbuilding. So on a daily basis, part of the Newport News Computer Incident Response Team are consuming millions of events. Events from over the network, over the wire, whether they're firewall events or they're additional sensors that are triggering anomalous or other potentially bad behavior, and these events are coming in. And no single person can truly digest all these events. We break up what we call our incident response lifecycle into 6 core phases. And those phases are preparation. We continually go through and making sure that all of our tools are up to date, all of our processes are up to date. And our workflows and everything we do on a day-to-day basis. And then that goes into the identification phase, our second phase. And that's truly where we go and we separate fact from fiction. And we want to say whether or not this incident coming over the wire or over the network or triggering on a system, a computer system, is truly malicious intent or has a high potential of being malicious or compromising to the computer system. Once that happens, we bubble up those events of interest into something which we then declare internally as an incident or an incident response. And then we move then into containing the incident. And then shortly after containing the incident, we would then go into a eradication phase, and then a recovery phase, and then always, last but not least, would be our lessons learned phase. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? And really, teamwork is core. Not one person is tasked with all these things or deciding whether or not this is bad. Sometimes we rely on tools and technology and intelligence that we either pay for, or we just research on our own. And that intelligence is fed into our detection sensors, and then also the human analysis perspective of looking at that signature, maybe correlated with a few other events that are happening, and then also discussing as team members and say, is this truly something we need to bring up higher of more importance?
My name's Andy Regenscheid. I'm a mathematician at NIST, where I work in cryptography. That's the study of mathematical techniques for securing data and securing communications using things like encryption or digital signatures to protect data. So one of the interesting things about a place like NIST is that, I kind of see it as our role of bridging the divide between theory and practice. So a lot of what we do, and a lot of what I do, is work with researchers and academic cryptographers that are kind of studying the mathematics and the science of cryptography, and then using that to create guidelines and recommendations for users and implementers of cryptography. So, I read research papers, I discuss new ideas with my colleagues here at NIST. I regularly engage with implementers at some of the nation's biggest IT companies to understand their problems and to help them understand what our priorities are for our customers and users.
My name is Kim Elliott. I'm the lead security control assessor at NASA Langley Research Center. In my job, I am the security control assessor for the center. We have things called information system security plans, and those plans document how each system on our government networks are configured and ensuring that they meet the different security protocols to prevent hacking and things of that sort. In a typical day, if we're in the process of conducting an assessment of an information security plan, we meet with customers, we evaluate their written documentation on the National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 853 Rev 4 to see their compliance with the controls as stated, and also to ensure to test that what they say they do, they actually do. And it's a 3-week process. We go into an organization, we meet with the key persons for that organization, we evaluate their documentation, we conduct a walkthrough so we get to see the good work they do in their individual organizations, and then we test to see if in fact they are compliant and and what their level of risk is in their organization.
Dr. Gregory Braxton, work for Newport News Shipbuilding. And here at Newport News, for more than 130 years, Newport News Shipbuilding has been in the business of making aircraft carriers and submarines for our Navy forces. And they do that with a highly skilled force of craftsmen and engineers. And more specifically, like I said, they build the Navy carriers and the submarines and also provide services to support both those ships. Well, a typical day for me is it rises and falls depending on the workload that we have with the different ships. But typically we're looking at, first of all, training, preparing ourselves to make sure that we are prepared to address the new the new threat vectors that are out there, making sure that we have a good understanding of the tools that we use to assess systems, because primarily we look at our systems and we assess them to ensure that they are able to get what's called accredited, and they get an authorization to operate. And what that means is that our customers can use this system and it can go live and that it's safe. And so what I do with my job, the importance of what I do, ensures that that sailor has a system that's reliable, that only does what it's intended to do, and is always available whenever they need it. So they can put sailors where needed, put bombs on targets, and aircraft in the space where they need to be to defend our country.
My name is Michael Knight. I am the Incident Response Manager here at NASA Langley Research Center. I've worked out here for about 10 years, and I work directly for NASA. A typical day in the role of an Incident Response Manager is overseeing that team that does the forensics and incidents. They identify something, they bring it to me, they work the incident. I oversee and make sure that no feathers get ruffled. There's not much more than that anymore. They do the fun stuff, right? The forensics and the actual incidents, and talking to the user to find out, is there anything weird going on here? Is there, malicious code? Is there something that we can do to help? That kind of thing, to try to see if you can identify anomalous behavior within that traffic. For a forensics analyst, you're identifying, when an intrusion could have happened, what caused it, is there a way to prevent it in the future, is there any data that malicious code touched. So there's a lot of exciting things there. Being a forensics analyst was one of the most fun things I've done, because it's putting a puzzle piece together and finally figuring out how something happened. You're able to take this piece of information and this piece of information and put them together to get the whole picture of what occurred. And to me, that aha moment was probably some of the best.